Hello everyone and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan and thanks for coming to the channel. So in the 12-gallon long or bookshelf aquarium that I have on the 1-2-3 shelf of my racking system, it's otherwise doing pretty great except for one issue. I've had Hydra, which are a little organism, and it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to capture it with an iPhone or really any digital camera, because they're really small filamentous creatures. I won't get into the taxonomy or the science really about them, only to say, like Planaria, which is a little worm that can infest a tank, especially if it's fed a lot or has various detritus on the bottom or a heavy bio load, etc. You will get both of those creatures, and to lesser and greater amounts they can be harmful to your aquarium, and moreover they're unsightly, right? So while some of either of those creatures is not particularly harmful, they're sort of gnarly, if not gross. Planaria especially is gross. I don't think YouTube will object if I say Planaria look like tiny little white penises that crawl up and down the glass of your aquarium and in the substrate. Well, I don't have that problem, at least not to my knowledge. I have had that problem, and I treated it the same way I'm treating Hydra. Now, Hydra are about the same size, but they're green, like a plant. They look green. They're an organism, though, a living organism. It's a strand with a single filamentous hand at the end, and it sticks its one solo appendage onto pretty much anything. But in an aquarium, you'll often see it on glass, which is where I would see it. And the outstretched arm, if you will, the hand, will grab at little organisms in the water, and they can attack small baby fish fry or shrimp fry. That is definitely a real problem with Hydra. And so shrimp keepers or fish breeders are particularly against having this creature in their aquariums for obvious reasons. Me, it's primarily for aesthetics. I'm not breeding any fish. There are shrimp in this tank, but I'm not, cultivating them with any intense passion, at least not in this aquarium. But I don't want to see any shrimplets lost to Hydra. But what was happening is every couple days I would see dozens and dozens of these little green Hydra organisms, and that's not them there. There's one. Do you see that? Okay, it looks like a piece of basically junk or pond scum or algae, but it's actually a small, and for a Hydra that's a big one. And you can see at the end that's not attached to the glass, at least from here, there's a little protrusion. That's actually a hand, the hand-like object I was talking about. The good news is, but first, more of the bad. They can infest a tank, and it starts to look gnarly when you have hundreds of them on your glass or hanging off of broadleafs like this and pretty much anywhere. And I don't know, it's ugly. And as cool as they are in terms of the science, I don't want them in my tanks, and most aquascapers or aquarium keepers don't either. Fortunately, there's a couple great methods to remove them, and my favorite by far is a product called No-Planaria. You see it here. It's shrimp safe, mostly snail safe, fish baby safe, fish safe. Now, in heavy doses, all that can go out the window, and you can incur some losses, particularly with fancier snails like nearite snails or mystery snails. The smaller snails like this guy will probably do fine, and I don't care if I lose a few of those, to be honest. That's a ram's horn snail. But because they're in the same sort of taxonomy as Hydra, what attacks the Hydra will attack them as well. And what that is, interestingly enough, is not a man-made chemical per se, although I'm sure it's synthesized by people, is extract from the betel nut, which my understanding it's sort of like a hazelnut. And I don't know what people use them for in human life, but the extract obliterates Hydra. And what you do is it comes in a white powder, and you put a fairly small amount dissolved in water into your tank, and then the next day an even smaller amount, and the third day a final amount. And I will tell you, after 5 days, you won't find a single Planaria or Hydra in your tank. And you don't have to follow the directions exactly right. It is from a natural occurring ingredient, and so if you were to overdose or underdose and modulate accordingly, you should be fine. They say to take carbon out of your filters. I don't believe I'm running carbon in this small Oase canister. And even if I was, all that would do is remove the medicine from the water, and it won't remove all of it, and there'll be enough to do what I needed to do. I don't have a major infestation, but I do want to see if it has the same effect as it had when I was in California, and I had a lot of Planaria, and it really, really worked. I was stunned. I thought I was going to have to break down the tank, but no need for drastic measures with a product like No-Planaria. Obviously, I'm not reimbursed. This company is not even a U.S. company. It's a little tricky to find this product. Certain local fish stores, only the best ones will have it, but you can find it on eBay or something like that in a small container or packet. Will last you forever, and I don't think it's that much money, maybe $20 and then some, but given it'll last you 5 years or longer, that's a great deal. So I just wanted to update you on what was happening in this aquarium vis-a-vis Hydra and how I'm dealing with it. I'll stick to the script there and end right now, okay? So folks, always keep your hands in the tank, especially if it's for treating your aquarium for Hydra. Ciao for now.